Welcome to Decades of Horror, the 1970s.
All the dead are dead, and the living are dying. Even.
This is episode 61, reviewing Damnation Alley, recorded February 11th, 2026. Now, cue the music.
We're trying to.
Try it.
Gruesome Magazine.
Trainwreck 101. All right, I'm your host, Doc Rotten.
Goes right along with this movie.
And this podcast is about horror films released between 1970 and 1979. Each episode, my co-host and I will tackle another classic or not so classic film from this wondrous, groovy, gory, and influential decade. Oh boy! Joining me this week are my co-hosts, and we'll start off with introducing Dave Dreher. Welcome,
I'm still here.
Sir.
Hi, Dave.
We are
Jeff
so
hasn't found his way home yet.
No, he has not found his way home. Still on the West Coast, enjoying the sun for now. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing well. Things are thawing out here in Northern Ohio. It's actually above freezing for a change.
Yep. For a short bit of time. I'm not sure when it's going to cool back down now. But
I'm sure it will.
that's crazy. It's crazy.
Gotta love it.
Well, also joining us tonight is Bill Mulligan. He is a writer, director, special effects guru, all-around nice guy, and published author.
No lies
cat fanatic.
That book is never far away.
Never.
It's always within our
yeah. Match it out. Yeah, today was a beautiful day. This is fake spring.
It is. It's get us all happy for spring, and then the cold will come back and give us all the flu.
Yep.
That's what happened. And also joining us, the one who picked tonight's movie is Sir Chad Hunt.
That sounded accusing.
How are you doing?
Let's get the blame out of the way. Right.
He's also a comic book artist and co-host of Decades Horror of the Classic Era and the 80s as well, and is a writer, director, and actor in his own right with Wreak Havoc Productions, right?
Yeah.
How are you doing, sir?
Warm today.
Warm is good.
Yeah, warm
is good.
But I'm warm in the first place. Everybody, I just have a warmth to me.
You do.
High blood pressure will do that.
Yeah.
Before we get to our review of Damnation Alley from 1977, I want to remind you that Decades of Horror and Gruesome Magazine are partnering on Play Now Media and several of the channels. Decades Horror 70s is on the Wicked Horror TV channel, Classic Sci-Fi channel, movie channel, Sci-Fi movie channel, and the Classic Horror movie channel. So check them out there. You can go to Play Now Media and check them all out, and then hundreds of other channels that they have. Crazy stuff. But if you want to watch us on, we're there.
Yeah.
And if you are watching us on that, we'd love to hear from you. So reach out to us and give us some feedback. Speaking of that, tonight we're going to start off with sharing our first impressions of the movie, and then we're going to talk about the film, the cast, the crew, and all the this one has a lot of stories with it to understand the best that it became, and then we will have feedback, and we want you to stick around for that. And like I said earlier, we'd love to hear from you. Leave your comments down below. All right, are you guys ready to dive into Damnation Alley?
Yay!
The enthusiasm
Sounds so
is immense. All right, Damnation Alley, 1977, directed by Jack Smite, written by Alan Sharp and Lucas Heller, based on the novel by Robert Zelazny. The composer is Jerry Goldsmith, a name you probably have heard. The choreographer is Harry Stradling Jr. The vehicle was created by Dean Jeffries, and it's called the Landmaster, a unique 12-wheeled amphibious articulated vehicle. The cast includes Chad Michael Vincent, George Peppard, Dominique Sanda, Paul Winfield, Jackie Earl Haley, Kip Niven, Robert Donner, and Murray Hamilton. He's uncredited, and we'll get to him. Production company is 20th Century Fox. It is one of 2 sci-fi movies it had for the year. We'll talk about
the big
that
one
later. This is the one they put together. The release date.
Put your money on this one.
Yeah, it was October 21st, 1977 in the U.S. And then in Europe, various countries, it was from January 21st, 78 to November 10th, 1978. The budget was an estimated $7 to $8 million, depending on where you read. And the box office was around $4 million. So
Womp, womp.
a success it was not. The synopsis is, in a post-apocalyptic world, a group of survivors travel and find other settlements in huge custom-designed all-terrain vehicles, as you can see.
At first.
Yes. All right. Let's get into our first impressions. Dave's laughing. Chad, start us off because this was your pick. Why in the hell did you pick this?
Well,
What were you thinking?
I'm teasing, but go ahead.
listen, okay. You guys have never picked a bad one, I'm sure. Bad movie.
Never.
No,
Never.
wait till next time.
I in no way, shape, or form think that this is a great movie at all. I hate Jan Michael Vincent. I don't know, but I saw this at the drive-in. I had my choice of seeing this or White Line Fever because my mother was in love with Jan Michael Vincent. So it was a double feature. So I was able to go to see one of them. And then because there was a school day the next day. And I said, let's see Damnation Alley. It was first. And, so I went to see Damnation Alley. And I loved it as a kid because I guess it feels so much like a kid's show that would come on Saturday mornings or something, something along the vein of Shazam or something like that. But I did not appreciate it as much watching it as an adult. I still hate Jan Michael Vincent. I still don't think it's a great movie, but it has a place right here, and Santos and I used to talk about how horrible this movie is. And so I saw that it was available and I said, you know what, let's do Damnation Alley just for shits and giggles. And here we are. And I still don't think it's a great movie, but I still love it.
Yeah. No pun intended, but there's a load of them in here. Shits.
There's loads, yeah.
Yes. All right, Dave Dreyer, what was your first impression of Damnation Alley?
Well, much like young Chad there, I seen this also in a drive-in as a double or triple feature. I don't remember what it was. But this is one of those movies that you can't watch it and expect to sing its praises. It's got to take you back, harken you back to when you first watched it, right? And that's how I remember it. It is not a good movie, but it had so much going for it at the time. I mean, you got George Peppard somewhere between Banachek. It was after Banachek, but before the A-Team, right? So, he's kind of that middle-aged thing going on, trying his best to be Gene Hackman and failing miserably. And Jan Michael Vincent at that point in time was an up and comer, right? I mean, people were expecting him to be, he was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember back then realizing how bad the special effects were. I remember thinking how cool the car was, or the truck, or whatever you want to call that thing. It did remind me a lot of something like Land of the Lost, or one of those things, with the giant scorpions and the man-eating cockroaches and all that stuff. And it still kind of plays like that. Sometimes MeTV, I don't know if you guys watch MeTV, but they play those corny Saturday morning live action TV shows sometimes. It reminded me a lot of that, but it makes me smile, and I kind of liked it. So I reminisced a lot in rewatching this, but it's not something that I want to sit one of my grandchildren down and say, now this is how you make a movie. That's not going to happen.
I do think people can learn from this movie, but not how to.
Yeah, how not to do something.
But it's fun. I think, especially for those of us of a certain age who remember it fondly.
Yeah.
From our childhood.
Yeah, exactly. Bill Mulligan, sir.
I saw this in the theater when it came out, and I distinctly remember reading that this was the science fiction movie that 20th Century Fox thought was going to be the big one. But this was after I had seen Star Wars, which turned out to be the big one. And boy,
20th Century Fox, yeah.
The worst kind of timing you can have is to be an ordinary meh average run-of-the-mill film in a particular genre when one of the greatest ones ever comes out right before you. Whatever chance you had to impress people just right out the window. And I remember watching it, and watching Star Wars just blew me away. It just completely changed my attitude towards special effects and what was possible. And then watching this was like a TV movie. The effects are pretty poor. The matte work is some of the worst out there, just unnecessarily bad. Although maybe we'll talk about why that's the case later. Yeah, the scorpions were pretty sad looking. Everything about this was just dull. Yeah, it's kind of a cool RV. I don't know. The little thing in the middle kind of cracked me up. And yeah, it's got 12 wheels. Only 8 wheels. You can say it's a 12-wheel thing. That sounds cool. And you realize 4 of the wheels aren't touching the ground. I mean, I'm not driving. I'm not driving a 5-wheeler just because I have a spare in the trunk. So it's a cool looking thing. But you feel like, oh, they should have done more with it. It gets to go in water. As soon as they say this thing could go in water, it's like, well, there's going to be a water scene pretty soon. It's probably going to look like a little toy in a bathtub based on everything else. The acting's fine.
Did it?
I don't know. There's giant scorpions in the desert. What are they eating?
Other giant scorpions.
Yeah. That's not there anymore.
Logically, just if you're gonna have a post-apocalypse where within a couple of years we got giant mutated monsters, let's go with that. Let's have some more than just bad looking green screened, I guess it was blue screen scorpions. This is just so forgettable. I saw it. I never watched it again. I watched it a couple days ago, and yeah, it impressed me a little bit more than I remember being impressed at the time. I thought the actress was actually really good. I liked her character. I liked Peppard. My wife's a huge fan of young, hopelessly drug addicted Jan Michael Vincent. She was a huge Airwolf fan. And it was, I didn't realize Jackie Earl Haley, that was the only thing that really kind of blew me away that he was in it. That's cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is so, this is what science fiction used to be before Star Wars, folks.
Yes.
And this one had the bad misfortune of coming out right after Star Wars. If they'd released it a year or two earlier, maybe it would have amounted to something. Probably would have made its money back.
Yeah. One thing that happened though, before I get into mine, is to address what you just said. It was supposed to come out in May of that year, and Star Wars was supposed to come out later. And they were running late. Things weren't working, and post-production was killing it. So they bumped it back and bumped Star Wars, which was going to be just this little indie film that was going to hit, late in the year. They put it in May. So they shot themselves in the foot as far as that goes. And then they reacted to Star Wars and did some horrible things. And we'll get into all that, I suppose, later. But just wanted to throw that out there to kind of whet that topic. But yeah, this movie, I remember the trailers for it felt like it was going to be this exciting, crazy adventure. I can't remember if I saw it in the theaters or drive-in, or if I saw it at home later. I just remember seeing it and not liking it, but I have no recollection of how or where. Just was like, it was a stinker. That's all I remember. And I have never watched it again. But until Chad chose it, and it's bad. I enjoyed it. I will admit I enjoyed it because it's so bad. It's not so bad it's good. It's just like watching a train wreck.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's just like, oh my God, that's what they did. Oh my, what's going on in the sky? That's stupid. And there's all these things that happen. And it's like, wait, who's that? He's gone. Wait. And there's all kinds of these crazy things that happen. But yeah, this movie did not impress me other than that. except for the lander rover, right? This thing.
Yeah.
Which was it was impressive. It was impressive, and it was cool, and it has that middle part that looks like modern buses, the long buses that have the section in the middle. Kind of looks like that to me. And the wheels were impressive, even if they're not practical. Who cares? They look cool. But yeah, a boo. Bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Before we get into talking about the film, there is a thing that happens, and it is going to happen tonight, whether Chad likes it or not, and that is
he loves it.
Taglines with Chad.
Yeah, I've made peace with it.
All right.
Oh,
Bless you again, sir.
Man.
We are the Sneasels are here, folks. The Sneasels are here. All right. Give us some taglines.
All right. Taglines for Damnation Alley. You've seen great adventures. Now see a bad one. I mean, a live one. Something like that, anyway.
What?
That don't sound right.
No, it's not. The whole movie's not right. More than a movie, an adventure you'll never forget. And yet Doc said he forgot all about it.
Yeah, I forgot everything.
The magnificent epic of 5 people who survived the nuclear holocaust and their incredible odyssey through the nightmare world it created. And now, you will not only see it, you will feel it live in Sound 360, a revolutionary sight and sound experience.
We're not
360.
Sound 360. So basically, we have a speaker behind you.
Woofers.
Woofers.
Were put in there that would rattle the entire theater. Yeah, kind of like sound. It was a reaction to sense around.
Early use of the brown noise.
Mm.
An adventure you'll never forget.
I keep saying that.
What were we talking about again? Before Mad Max, there was a DVD Blu-ray cover.
No, that's just selling you where it's from, fool.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right.
So the DVD Blu-ray cover had that. That was, of course, it was the DVD Blu-ray cover came out.
Whenever they do that, they're trying to sell you something. So before this movie that you really love and everyone's heard of, there was this one that no one's heard of. Okay, probably it wasn't very good then.
No, no.
World War III is over. There are many survivors, but only a few are human. What?
Yeah, that's a lie.
All right, thank you.
Just because you got a big beard and herpes sores doesn't mean you're not a human
Yeah,
anymore.
Oh my! Well, I think they were referring to the creatures that we barely saw. But anyway, that was
The
tagline
scorpions?
with Chad.
Chad's our hero, cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
I don't feel much very heroic after reading that.
I know you took it like a chat. Listen, we got scorpions now. It's it's no, and they're not human either. I don't understand. That tagline made no sense.
All right, we're gonna dive.
It was the 70s, Bill.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into a new segment we're trying out called Cast of Characters. So one by one, we're going to go through the characters and discuss how they did in this movie. This one shouldn't take as long as Excalibur did a few weeks back. But let's go for it.
Yeah.
Starting off is Jake Tanner, played by Jan Michael Vincent. He's a young, reckless, rebellious U.S. Air Force officer facing the apocalypse. Yeah. Thoughts on Jake Tanner, the character?
Hated him.
Obnoxious.
Not just
Jerk.
Yeah.
Okay. The only time I liked him is when they were facing, the Mountain Men, as they're called.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
he did what he had to do, and he did it well.
Yeah. It's just these
Fair enough.
smirky, like, too.
He's like a trope. He's just a trope in this. He's just a the little description there says it all. Young, reckless, and rebellious.
I am
Who
not
wouldn't
a
want to
robot.
see that? Who wouldn't want to see Jan Michael Vincent in the role that he played in every other movie?
Here's the other thing. Young, reckless, rebellious. Yeah, that's the person I want in charge of launching nuclear missiles.
Yeah. Or driving me across
there
the
at the
country.
beginning is the only time he didn't solve it by jumping on a motorcycle.
Yes.
Everything
Yes.
else was get on the motorcycle. It didn't matter what he was. As long as he could get on the motorcycle, he could save the day. Except for at the beginning when they were launching the missiles. So
He also did an Evil Knievel stunt out the window. That was fun.
yeah.
Ridiculous, but fun.
I just felt like we were supposed to really love this character, and
God,
the
I
more
hate
they
him.
try to make us love him, the less I loved him,
Yeah.
or even liked
Yeah.
him or
I mean,
tolerated.
He did get a little more likable as the other characters came in. But then the whole ending goes like, duh, what? But we'll get into that later.
If they would let Jackie Earl Haley do his role, it would have been far better than him in the role.
Well, there's a whole
12.
thing to talk about when we get to the book, but there's a whole thing about his character. But let's talk about George Peppard as Major Denton, who is a no. Yes, he looks like G. Gordon Liddy. He's a no-nonsense, disciplined, and domineering U.S. Air Force commander.
That he was.
This guy I would put in charge of nuclear missiles because,
The mustache alone says, I can push the button better
or
than
being
you.
a 70s
push the button better than you. Yes. I love the scene where he's actually shaving it while driving.
Yeah. This is Thunderbolt Ross before Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God, you're
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Yeah.
He is Thunderbolt Ross. He does get to push buttons in the rover too. So blow up a few things, a wall and a building, and
Yeah, he blows up that one
really.
building with the missiles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
I
I
really-
always liked George
Kill
Peppard. I
a
always thought he was a
cockroaches.
fine actor.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And when we get to the actors themselves, well, his relationship with Dan Michael Vincent, I think made it on the screen. I think it made it on the screen.
But here again, so I think we're supposed to like Jan Michael Vincent's character, and I didn't. And I think I was supposed to not like this guy because he's such a hard ass, but I did like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to have one of those people taking me through a nuclear holocaust with giant scorpions, obviously this guy. And then the next one would be the kid. And then the third one would be the lady that they picked up. And the fourth one would be the cockroaches. Maybe they could get together and swarm over the steering wheel.
Oh my God.
Turn here. No, take a left.
We're trying the best we can. I think
All
they have a
right.
high-speed voice.
Speaking of the girl they pick up, that was Dominique Sanda as Janice. They pick her up in Vegas, which has 3 buildings left. That was cool.
Yeah, kind
And
of.
one of the buildings left is Circus.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a cool.
And the slot
that was a
machine
cool
still working.
sequence. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
I liked her.
the old ones where you pull the arm and the coins come out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's still
I
there
totally
today.
liked her. She's not a bombshell, but she's attractive, certainly
Mhm.
good looking, and beggars can't be choosers out there. Apparently, all the women died, and just a bunch of guys. But
Well-
I liked her. Her character had some, some chops there, and
Could handle herself when she was in
Yeah,
trouble.
she was Linda Hamilton before Linda Hamilton existed.
I like that.
The harsh male-dominated apocalypse world, as opposed to the non-male-dominated pre-apocalypse world.
yeah.
Yes,
She can now thrive as a young lady in
right.
the
Yes.
apocalypse.
yes, definitely. All right, let's talk about the other two crew members who are, well, not there very long. But
Oh.
Paul Winfield plays Sergeant Keegan, who is a non-conforming artist officer who survives by scavenging the wasteland. I liked his character. He was very much, done with it. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
But
a great job.
Yeah, he was great, but you knew he was a dead man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Well, it seems to me when I was younger and saw this, that death scene by Cockroach lasted way longer and was a little bit more shown in it. I remember his leg being eaten to the bone and his leg just hanging out of the car, just a bone and with a shoe on it, and some. But this seemed like it was cut for some reason.
The version we saw.
Yeah, because it seemed a lot grosser. Because that was one of the memories of this movie that really stuck out in my mind is his death and how gross it was.
Yeah. The version I watched when George Peppard opened the door, you got to see a little bit more of that, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's when you got to see it. And he was already Kaputski. Cockroaches ate him fast. The other U.S. Air Force officer is Kip Niven as Perry, who is a by-the-book military officer and survivor of the nuclear apocalypse until he
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, he is kind of like an afterthought. Come along so
Yeah.
you can be cannon fodder. So.
He might as well have a red shirt with a big old target on the back.
Yeah, big time.
No kidding. No kidding.
He blowed up real good.
Yep.
He did. But yeah, you could tell
he
that
got taken out by the tornado, didn't he? Did he?
he did. He got taken out by the tornadoes, which was like 10 of them. I don't know. It was like all over the place.
Wait for me.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, he was doomed. And the other, I don't think we have a picture of him, but the guy who, it's like, hey, could you go turn on that flammable gas? Yeah, go ahead. Let me have a cigarette first. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, we don't have. There's like this weird scene where these two guys squabble, and it's just introduced a guy that basically sets fire to
smokes himself to death and kills everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Apparently, this level of military officer are required to have the same mustache. Apparently.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
An interesting an interesting character and cast member as well is Jackie Earle Haley, a very young, off of Bad News Bears, as Billy.
Best thing in the whole movie.
Yep. Really.
Yeah.
Is a resourceful, hardened survivor with distinct penchant for throwing rocks, and boy, did he throw those rocks!
Yeah. He could toss a rock.
I heard he went to the Ernest T. Bass School of Rock Throwing.
He might have.
Yeah, he was good. Usually kids in movies like this are so freaking annoying. You hope that a scorpion will eat them. But no, I liked him. He was good.
It was good to see him too. And
Yeah. He's had an interesting career.
And he only went with him because Jan Michael Vincent was going to teach him how to ride the bike, ride the motorcycle, which is, hey, priorities are priorities.
He was doing pretty good for himself before they came along.
Yeah. He was, because I liked his story of what it was like, but he talked like, it was like 4 moons.
Yeah.
It wasn't months, it was moons.
Yeah.
Because it's basically, if you didn't catch it earlier, it's basically 2 years from the time all the nukes went off to the time they're trying to get from California to Albany, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, they meet the mountain men along the way, one of which is played by Robert Donner, who were feral and deranged, devolved, they said, into a savage state. Had the best line in the movie. Chad did it at the end and the beginning of this. But what'd you think, not only of him, but the mountain men themselves? I mean, they were...
Well, you could tell. You could tell
had to have that
scene. They're not taking good care of their mustache. So,
they're not from the military anyway.
Right. Oh, that beard was something else, though. You could almost see the glue around the
Oh
edges.
yeah, almost. Yeah.
I
But
can almost
they
hear
were.
ZZ Top music.
They have to almost have these kind of guys in apocalypse movies. I mean,
Mhm.
hills have eyes. You always got these scavengers out in the desert that have been away from humanity for so long they become feral, and so that, like I said, it's another trope thing thrown in here.
Yeah.
Oh, science fiction! We need feral men from the mountains.
I'm not sure what they wanted more, the truck or the woman. So,
Oh, definitely the woman.
Yeah,
well,
I think it was the
in some respect, but they were very interested in that truck. One last cast member, sort of, is Murray Hamilton, as General Landers, who's a commanding officer of the U.S. Air Force Missile Base in the Mojave Desert.
The same look he had on his face right here when the credits rolled at the end of the movie.
Yep,
he wasn't there.
Yeah, and you probably didn't see this in the theaters or the drive-in because this scene only showed up when they when it appeared on TV. They put some scenes back in, but yeah, his entire role was cut to the slimmest, barest bone. You see him floating around as a ghost, kind of, doesn't have any dialogue. He's in a couple of the scenes, and then he blows up.
Real good.
And his only line that remains is "Help! Help!" As he screams on fire, running down the hallway.
Oh, look at this. So sad too. Look at him. He's acting his little heart out here. I mean, he's
I was in Jaws. Damn it!
I was in Jaws. He still puts on the tie, but he doesn't bother to cinch it up. It's just like everything's gone to hell. Whiskey, my only refuge.
Yep, cigarette in hand, whiskey bottle in arm's length. Yeah,
out of a coffee cup.
Yep, out of a coffee cup.
Please let me die.
But there's
nothing says I've given up on life like whiskey in a coffee cup.
Yeah, so they basically, because of Star Wars, this was a knee-jerk reaction. They wanted to cut a lot from the beginning to get to the action, and unfortunately, a lot of it was him, which kind of, I think, hurt the narrative quite a bit, because it just kind of happens so fast. You don't really, you don't get it all. So it certainly doesn't have any agency. So suddenly we know things are coming, and boom and bang, and now they're telling us all about, okay. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get into how they promoted the film. We'll start off with the posters, and the posters aren't too bad.
I like that poster.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great poster, except the only criticism I have of this poster is that if you look at the font for Damnation Alley, the super sound or whatever, it looks like a bow tie. It looks like it's wearing a stupid little bow tie.
It does. It does look like a bow tie. You're right.
And then once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's just but that's a cool,
repeated down below too. So
yeah, that's a cool looking shot. I mean, that it promises all kinds of apocalypse and tsunamis.
You got the tornado going on and the funky skies.
Yeah,
cool car.
Should be more of that.
Yep. Not a picture of the people on it though.
Oh
no.
Yeah. I think they realized that we got to bank on the car. We got to bank on the vehicle.
They're really pushing the Sound 360 on
I know that, and that almost makes this poster really ugly. That top third, fourth, whatever, top bit. It's kind of like if you just hold your hand over top of it, it's like, oh, I don't want to see that part, right? So looks a lot better. But here's another poster that was out there. This one does kind of give us a little bit more of the people in it. I don't know why it has rainbow-ish looking colors coming down.
It's the Aurora Borealis.
Oh, that's right. That's what they're trying to do. Yeah, because we could see that all throughout the skies in the movie. Yeah.
It looks like they're buried up their heads in the sand.
Yeah, it does. It does look like.
It also makes
some fritters, right?
Doesn't the Land Rover look suspiciously like something Jawas would be?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say the same.
They changed it because here's what it looks like.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like that.
From this perspective, it looks like the
they got R2D2 in there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't even catch that when I looked at it first. Oh, see, here's that. Now here, what is it?
Callejon Infernal.
Totally
Cameo
didn't do any of the
Inferno.
alternate titles. Yeah, it was going to be called Survival Run, and was actually in the States even, and it was actually promoted at that early in the spring, and then last minute they went back to Damnation Alley. So
Good
which,
choice.
yeah, which is a good choice. Didn't help or
Yeah,
hurt.
Survival Run's not a great.
So I'm not sure what the Infernal Caldeon is, but there's your heads. There's the heads that
Yep, there they
was
go.
very popular in the 70s, putting all the heads in a box across the bottom. And then we have this one, which I kind of like.
L'Ultima
Odyssey, maybe?
Odissea. Yeah, Ultimate Odyssey,
Odyssey.
probably.
Ooh. Yeah.
Now the
Captain
heads have
America.
managed to free themselves from the sand and they're floating aimlessly in the sky.
Floating in the sky.
Aimlessly. But now the thing's firing little weapons and
Lasers.
Yeah, lasers came out of its top of this shark. And then we have this one, which we're debating internally whether this is a real
This
poster
one-
or a fan poster, but it looks like a
So
fan
much
poster.
better than most of them that I think this might be fan generated.
Yeah, this is definitely not an official poster.
But I kind
I
of
do
like.
like the skull.
Yeah,
I like it though. Yeah,
And that actually would have helped the film quite a bit if those appeared in the sky,
Yeah.
given the kind of this weird feel to it. But no, we got what'd you call it earlier on, Bill?
What the
Bad
sky, the
green
bad
screen.
bad effects that look like
Bad Mad
early-
Effects, yes.
they look like 1990s screensavers.
Yes.
Just nothing impressive.
Well, yeah. And there's a reason why. A costly reason.
Yeah, we'll get to
why.
that. Yeah.
All right, but let's talk about the book first because they changed quite a bit from the book. We won't get into all the changes because that would be a whole episode.
Right.
But the main change is that Tanner wasn't a U.S. Air Force officer. He was a Hell's Angels, and his name wasn't Jake. It was Hell. It was actually Hell Tanner, and he was basically that's where the motorcycle came from, right? So
the dirt bike.
right, the dirt bike. So he wasn't. Yeah, they turned him into a good guy, and I think they lost a good spine of the story. And the major, George Peppard's character, he wasn't in. He basically did not go with them. So
I like all the iterations of the traveling tank.
Yeah,
that
I
they
like
have.
the yellow one down below. It was
Yeah.
fascinating. It just would
No
fall
crease in
over.
the middle. Don't sit on the crack. One left turn and you're dead meat.
So a little bit of story behind it's Roger Zelazny. I can't. Yeah, I'm so I went to the end before the Z, but he gave the script, the original script, a thumbs up and signed off on it and liked it. But that's not the script they went with. And when he went and saw the movie, he was livid and tried to, get off the film, his name off the film. But it didn't, he wasn't. Well, it was too late. It was way too late. So I can imagine that it was a horrible, horrible shock.
It shows you how much they respect the writers that they didn't give him the heads up that we're changing anything. And he had to find out there sitting in the theater with a rictus grin on his face that's slowly fading away as
basically the only thing they kept was the travel was, going from California to the East Coast, basically it. So everything else was kind of, and the car and the vehicle. And well, they kept the motorcycle, but I wouldn't say that was the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that happened. And along the way, other people were cast. What's interesting is early on, Steve McQueen was going to be Hal Tanner instead of Jake Tanner. And but he wanted too much money. He wanted $2 million and controls of the shooting script and all that stuff. He wanted to have some control, and I think even part of the, if I remember correctly, maybe part of the Returns as well.
Well,
They
no,
obviously, yeah. Well, if he'd been on it, maybe
Maybe.
had control, it might have been better. But he, of course, they didn't hire him, and instead of spending $2 million on him, they spent $1 million on Jan Michael Vincent.
Well,
which I mean, in hindsight, looks weird. But at the time, Jan Michael Vincent is rising star. He followed this up with Hooper, but then and of course Airwolf. So he did.
he was an up and comer, but he
Yes.
couldn't open a movie the way Steve McQueen still could.
Yeah.
No, he couldn't. But yeah, so that happened, and then Nick Nolte read, and if I heard it right, he read for the George Peppard's character. But of course, the age didn't matter then because they both were
Right.
officers, and of course when he went in for his audition, he basically spent 30 minutes telling them everything that was wrong with the script and how to do it right and do stuff like that. And they just, were bamboozled and let him go out his way. But in hindsight, he was
dodged a
right.
bullet, Nick.
He was right.
Yeah.
He was right. But moving off of that, we go to the director, Jack Smite. And here, tell us about, look at the film. Airport 75 was a pretty big film, and Midway was a huge film, right?
Connects these all together. Midway and Airport 75 shows that he is capable of doing, this is the big Hollywood disaster kind of thing. Midway especially. He's kind of a journeyman director that there's not a lot of things that call attention to his style. But he was able to get things done. He's not necessarily a bad pick. Now, The Illustrated Man's kind of a mess, but I think that's more of the script than anything else. I don't know that anything much could have been done. I love The Illustrated Man, the book. It's one of the first science fiction books I remember reading, way above what I should have been reading at the time, but that's okay. My parents let me read they were happy just to see me reading. When I finally got to see the movie late night, I was like, you picked the wrong stories and you didn't film them well, but okay. The Screaming Woman, I actually have some fond memories of. It's a TV movie.
You said you were going to pick it.
Yeah, I think I might pick it sometime. It's another one of those in the long-standing genre of nobody listens to the women.
Mm-hmm.
You got some older actress who insists that she hears some woman screaming outside and nobody listens to her. And then stuff happens. And as I recall, it's a lot of that until you get to the ending, and it's actually got a kick-ass ending. But it's a lot of, will anyone ever listen to her? And I don't know if it still holds up. 90 minutes of should have listened to the girl, but I liked it.
And in the to take Jeff Moore's place, he directed 13 episodes of Climax back in the 50s. He directed Western after Western. He did he did 4 episodes of The Twilight Zone. Let's find out which ones he did. He did The Lonely in season 1, and he did Lateness of the Hour, The Night of the Meek, and 22 in season 2.
I seem to remember Night of the Meek. I just don't remember what it was about. I feel like it's got Ed Wynn was that the one where death shows up and
He's making it up as he goes.
You might be right, sir. I don't know.
Edit mark here.
Yeah, but Defenders, he did a couple episodes. Route 66, Alfred Hitchcock Hour, Dr. Kildare, Craft Suspense Theater, and stuff like that. There's a Strategy of Terror. I'm not sure what that is. Rabbit Run sounds familiar. He did an episode of Columbo, a couple episodes of McCloud, Banachek, which probably is one reason why somebody came in. He directed, this is one that we've talked about, Frankenstein, the True Story.
Yeah. David Sarrazin, was his name David Sarrazin or
Sarrazin,
Michael Sarrazin?
Michael Sarrazin, I think you're right. Yeah.
I think Night of the Meek was the one with Art Carney where he plays Santa Claus. Or he plays Santa Claus.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, thank you.
That was a pretty good one.
All right, now we're going to talk about the cast members as actors, not as characters. But we're starting off with Jan Michael Vincent.
Oh, what a sad story.
Shots. Oh, later in his life,
Yeah.
And then, of course, here's some of the films he did, which
World's Greatest Athlete, I thought was one of the best. I mean, of the Disney, the big Disney summer movies, I loved World's Greatest Athlete. I thought that was great.
He was an Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, okay, that's probably later career choices. Yeah, there he is, Jan Michael Vincent and Clint Howard.
Yeah, whenever you show up in a movie with Clint Howard, you it's kind of a rocky road.
But you're going to have a good time, though. You're going to have a good time. He was. I don't know if you guys remember this TV show, because I only remember it as a curiosity later, and then I think I saw it in reruns. But it was Danger Island. I don't know if you remember that.
Wait, was that the one that was like syndicated, a kid show kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah, Danger Island.
The archaeologists being pursued by pirates around the islands of South Pacific. Yeah, and that was an early show he was on.
Huh.
I think that's where he might have first gotten noticed. Maybe if I'm.
The sad thing is,
perhaps
after Airwolf obviously was the thing that made him famous, and it ran for many seasons, and then. But he just fell into serious drug use. And I just remember one of the last things that he ever did was some crappy adventure cop movie or something, and he was in an accident, a motorcycle or car accident, and just showed up on set all busted up, just still bruising and bleeding and everything, and they somehow worked that into the script and everything, and he's all puffy-eyed. And this is a guy who was a really good-looking guy, and toward the end of his life, it was just one of the sadder Hollywood stories.
So right, 75 and 76, he did 5 films. See if you guys remember any of these. Bite the Bullet, White Line Fever. Mm-hmm. I think you talked about that was a double feature, right?
Yeah.
Baby Blue Marine.
Oh, Baby Blue Marine. Yeah.
Baby Blue Marine, Vigilante Force, and then this movie, and then he followed it up with Big Wednesday and Hooper. I remember Hooper. I think. Yeah. Because I like Burt Reynolds movies for some reason, especially the 70s ones. After that, not so much.
I'm with you on that.
But probably because I love Smokey and the Bandits so much when it came out. So every time a Burt Reynolds movie came out, I watched it. And the only other thing I knew from was Deliverance, which I saw way too early in my life.
The two that I really liked of his films were Buster and Billy, which is a cool little slice of life drama that takes a really dark turn, and The Mechanic with Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson, yeah.
Which is a fun Charles Bronson movie and has got a terrific ending. Just one of those depressing, no one gets out of here alive, sad, Dirty Harry, Crazy Mary kind of endings that we're in the 70s, folks.
You didn't put Extro 2, The Second Encounter, in this.
Oh, geez, how did I forget?
Probably for a good reason, right?
Jeez.
Right.
It was either that or Alienator, and I don't know. I just
Of course. But there is a story on the set of this movie. They lost him for 3 days.
They check under the refrigerator?
No, he was lost in the desert. He
with a horse with no name.
Yeah, he apparently went to a reservation and may have gotten into a little trouble, and they gave him peyote. And then he tripped balls and went out into the desert for 3 days. And he came back.
Who hasn't though, really?
Yeah. But that's a fun story. If George Peppard didn't like him before, I bet because George Peppard was he was a stand-up,
learned his lines and
actor,
didn't take peyote in the middle of a shoot kind of guy. Stick in the mud.
Speaking of which, there's a whole ton of George Peppard movies we could talk about, but
look at that top photo.
Like
his mustache wants to knock that smirk right off his face.
Absolutely does. I love the film that you picked for the poster. because that movie is
Mhm.
one of my favorite guilty pleasures. Beyond the Battle.
We
of
got
the
to do
Stars.
that one sometime too.
That's a
Yeah.
Corman.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
Corman
production,
film,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yep,
And
yep.
he played simply Cowboy. He's simply Cowboy. Oh my gosh! But I think it
Danning's
was.
spaceship was the best thing in the movie. It's got breasts. Why not?
And I remember Banachek, but it was only 17 episodes.
What?
That's what I was thinking. I think.
Wow.
Really?
I feel like that's wrong,
That
but that's
doesn't-
what it is.
Maybe one season we had
It
17
sounds
episodes.
Well, it was part of that like Monday Night Mystery, like 1 week.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Next
That,
week was
that would
okay.
work.
Columbo,
Then.
and
Okay.
That
next
makes
week was
sense. Yes.
Cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would make sense. I think they were on several seasons, but each show was only
Sure.
on like twice a season.
Oh,
Right.
gotcha.
Yeah, they
That
were doing
makes
that.
sense.
Some of them became, like Columbo
Right.
became a series. And,
Yeah, it became standalone. Macmillan and
Yeah.
Wife, remember that?
And then some of them
Mhm.
became Heck Ramsey. So yeah.
oh my gosh. He was in Breakfast at Tiffany's, How the West Was Won, The Victors, Carpetbaggers, Operation Crossbow, et cetera, et cetera. Up next is the wonderful Dominique Sanda, who is a bright spot in this film, if you ask me.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Especially when she tells the story of how she survived, because I think she basically said that she pleasured the manager to get into the bunker. If I
remember
listened
that
to
part.
that correctly,
Yeah.
that's what she was telling us.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not-
I think I mean, unlike today, where Hollywood is on the up and up, that's probably what a lot of folks had to do to get an opportunity. And she's not proud of it, but she's not ashamed either. It's just the way things are. And
It's
What
the
it was.
apocalypse.
you got to survive.
Yeah, I'm not
But yeah,
familiar
I
with
liked her.
many of her other
So
credits.
apparently, one of the things that got cut out when they sliced 45 minutes out of this film to release it was that there was a big triangle between her, Peppard, and George Michael Vincent. Their characters, rather, not in real life.
Right.
George Michael Vincent?
Did I say George Michael? Jan
That
Michael.
is cool.
You
That
gotta
is
sing
so
for
awesome.
us.
Jan's father,
George
right?
Michael. Yeah. I think in all cases,
me up.
Peppard wins. And that kind of
Oh,
makes sense. I mean, you've got these two alpha males.
Mhm.
Wow, you got George, you got an alpha male and Jan Michael Vincent, and you've got this pretty woman, and yeah, that sort of seems like a logical thing that a movie would do. I don't know what they did with it, where they ran with it, yada yada yada, but and then you got the boy, so you can create your own little nuclear family here on your way
Yeah,
to
I mean
Albany.
they referenced that when they kind of in a way, right? When they met the mountain men. They
Just
kind
want
of
to say,
landed on
if there were a nuclear attack, one of the places that would not be remaining afterwards would be Albany.
them.
I lived in Albany. I went to school in Albany. It's already teetering on the edge, and it's not going to thrive in a nuclear apocalypse. And it's close enough to New York City that they'd probably say, and toss a few warheads at the actual capital of New York, which everyone thinks is New York City, but is actually Albany because I guess they were, someone lost a bet or something. But anyway,
Yeah, we'll get to the crazy ending that
yeah.
is totally not the book as well. Gotta have those happen. Well, we'll get to that. Jackie Earl Haley, of course. Earlier on was Bad News Bears. Almost everybody knew him from Bad News Bears. Three movies: Bad News Bears, Breaking Training, and Bad News
Go to
Bears
Japan.
Go to Japan. Right? I remember him because I probably saw all three of those Bad News Bears.
Yeah,
That's what
I love Jackie Earl Haley. His role in Watchmen as Rorschach was just
really-
sends chills down my spine every time I watch
the
it.
greatest line
was
in that movie too,
wonderful.
right?
Yeah, he was one of the
You're
best.
not. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
I mean, there were some mistakes made in that movie, but casting him as Rorschach, I mean, it's interesting. He was a kid actor, and then, as with many kid actors, he kind of grew up to be, maybe not the prettiest guy on earth and everything, and that was probably a bad time for him. But then he kind of grew into being that look actually works. I didn't like the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, but he was fine as Freddy.
I thought he was great as Freddy. I just don't
Yeah.
think he had much to work with there.
No, he didn't have anything to work with. But
Right. Yeah, he was not acting for a little over 10 years, from the 90s into the 2000s. But then he got cast in a couple films that got some notoriety, Little Children, All the King's Men, and Semi-Pro, and of course, and Winged Creatures. And from there, he's one of our best character actors right now.
He is.
He
Yeah.
is
really
so good, and can do the good guy. He can do the bad guy. He can do the
so
cop.
it's great
he
to
can do
see
the
him
crook.
have this career renaissance. It's good to see that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the fans that watch this podcast will probably Watchmen is where they'll know him the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I forgot he was in Dark Shadows. Totally forgot that.
He was really good in Alita, Battle Angel.
Was he in Dark Shadows? He is in Dark Shadows, right?
Yeah, he was. I forget the character he played.
Oh, he was in the RoboCop remake. Oh, he was Willie Loomis.
Willie Loomis. There you go.
And then he was in the Lincoln movie. Alexander Stevens is who he played. He was in RoboCop the remake. Birth of a Nation film. Raymond Cobb. London Has Fallen. He was in the Preacher TV series as Odin Quincannon. Lita, like you said. Yeah, I could watch him if he's in a movie, I would like to watch.
Yeah,
it just to see him because I really, really like him.
And he was fine in this one. He was fine in this. Again, playing the kid role, which normally is not very rewarding. And no, very likable, believable.
Yeah, he did a great job. I mean, he had me when he hit Jan Michael Vincent in the chest twice with rocks from very far away. And it was like, you go, kid. Throw more rocks. I like this. All right, Paul Winfield. Who's done some genre stuff.
Yeah, he's done a lot of genre stuff. Wrath of Khan. He's one of the cops killed by the Terminator. He's what role did he have in Mars Attacks?
One of the generals, maybe, or one of the military guys.
He was
remember?
the general who shakes hands with them and then they shoot him. And yes, exactly. Yes, that's exactly who he was. And White Dog. I don't know if any of you have seen White Dog. Boy, was that movie controversial. Samuel Fuller movie, based on a short story that was in Playboy magazine. And man, they crucified that movie. When that movie came out and people were criticizing it for being racist, and we're like, this movie is like an attack on racism. I don't know how it was so misinterpreted. But by the time it came out, the studio was just like, screw this. It's not worth the trouble.
Yeah. Serpent and the Rainbow. I remember that film kind of got to me when I watched it in the theaters.
That was a good one.
Yeah. I don't think I've watched it since.
We covered it on 80s not too long ago, maybe a year or so ago.
Seems like it was longer.
Might have to revisit that one.
I've lost all sense of time. You reach a certain age, you stop keeping track of time because there's nothing to look forward to except you.
I don't keep track of it until I get up in the morning. My pain shoots up my spine, and I go, "Oh yeah, I'm old."
Oh yeah.
I forgot I'm old.
Murray Hamilton. Murray Hamilton.
Look at that guy. Look at that.
Who is? It's probably.
Look at that face at the top. I should have listened to the sheriff. There really was a shot on the beach. I'm never getting reelected.
But he does somehow.
Is that Jesse White behind him in that middle picture there?
Oh my gosh, the black and white one.
Yeah, is that Jesse White?
Oh, it could be
the Maytag repairman.
That's the one I was thinking of. That's the one in Twilight Zone episode where Murray plays Death.
Wow.
And I feel like that might be Ed Wynn, or I don't know. Not
Hmm.
sure.
He does. He plays Mr. Death. He plays Mr. Death. Exactly.
He's very good in it. And in Seconds, he plays, I believe he plays the friend of Rock Hudson who gets him to sign up for the plastic surgery. Yeah. And he's so good. Look how happy he is in Jaws. Boy, he rocks that suit. That's the ugliest damn suit.
Oh my God! But that's
Yeah.
that one and the
Joker
one
wouldn't wear
with,
that suit.
he also has the one with the all the anchors on it.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to remember. Like,
We've heard reports of a small predator being
Yeah,
captured off the coast.
You know, the ocean is full of fish. Come on. So I would have
he
liked
tried to get his way out of it.
Oh,
Tried
well.
to get his way out of it.
You know what? He probably, once he saw the movie, he's like, thank God they cut all my scenes.
Oh wow, he was in Amityville Horror and 1941.
I remember him in 1941, but it's been a while since I've seen Amityville.
Yeah, and Mazes and Monsters, a TV movie about Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Oh,
Jason
yeah.
Blake-
Tom Hanks.
With
Tom Hanks' early role, yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, from
hey, Dungeons and Dragons, you're gonna end up in an insane asylum. Yeah. Okay, kids.
Yeah, well, that's what they thought.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it was
Some of us did.
no. Some of us still might. But yeah, for me, it's always going to be Jaws. He's
Yeah.
all right. Well, let's here's driving in the car, which these shots are much better than the shots in the movie because they poorly lit. There was always shadows on their foreheads.
Yeah.
And it was very frustrating to watch.
The
Looks like scenes out of Airplane.
The
Yeah,
movie
it does.
looks
Oh my God, it does.
It does. It does. You know, this was an expensive movie for that time. I know what $7 million or $8 million sounds like chump change now, and it is, but back then it wasn't. Star Wars did not cost a lot of money, although apparently it ended up costing more than they thought. They just took it from Damnation Alley.
They did. They took part of the they siphoned it off and gave it to Star
Because
Wars.
you know, you listen, I'm sure they saw the rushes and they're like, okay, so here's Star Wars, and any 1 minute in it has more entertainment than the entirety of Damnation Alley.
Oh, that's
saw the writing on
so
the
sad
wall.
and true. Right.
Yeah.
Oh my.
We've got a Wookiee over here. What do you guys got? Scorpion.
Floating on the sand.
Yeah.
I did like the two steering wheels and how they used it, and I mean it. But it was funny when they go over to punch in the coordinates. It's basically one of those Texas Instruments, just glued to the.
Oh yeah.
Literally, I mean, that's what it
I
is.
love 70s movies where they try to use, in the future we will have computers and they will look like
They will
palm.
make labels for you.
Oh my gosh. But okay, so the Landmaster is the one thing that I think succeeded in this.
We'd all like to drive this down the street.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
It was created by let's see, I have him in here somewhere. Created by Dean Jeffries.
This was really cool because about the time this came out, I was really into vehicles from TV shows like the Batmobile, the Black Beauty from Green Hornet, and all those any of these vehicles really fascinated me for some reason or another. And but I just thought this was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah. Well, he was the first person they hired to do the Batmobile. But couldn't deliver it on time, so they took it from him and gave it to the other person.
George Barris.
He the only thing that his designs came in were the interiors. But he did the racing.
Blew a couple of calculators to the wall and be done with it.
The racing vehicles from Death Race 2000.
Oh, those are good.
I'm trying to remember what else he did. He was uncredited for the car designer in Great Race.
Oh, I love the car in Great Race. Those were fun. I love the Great Race.
Oh
Haven't
man,
seen it in forever.
oh, it's a great movie.
It's so funny. At least I remember it being funny.
But I want to do more. So we're going to talk about the Scorpions, and then I want to come back because I'm going to look up. He did more stuff, and I want to do it.
Okay,
So go ahead and tell us about this, Bill. What the heck did they do?
Well, they got the robot one on the bottom, and that looks pretty cool. But you know what? It didn't work. These robots never work, and they definitely weren't going to work in the 70s, and they definitely were going to work in the 70s if you put them in sand. Which, if the robots ever do try to take over the Earth, all we got to do is walk around with buckets of sand and throw it at them. It grinds up their gears and just, yeah. So they went with the classic, just let's film some scorpions in front of a blue screen and slap them on. And you can see from that middle shot, yeah, Jan Michael Vincent doesn't look like he's within 1,000 miles of these scorpions. It's hard to do. Your film, you know, even someone as great as Ray Harryhausen, sometimes it's pretty obvious when something is a back plate and when something is in front, and you know, one part is in focus and the other one is washed out and blurry, and it's just.
In hindsight, even if they weren't mobile, Scorpions would have worked so much better. Yeah. I mean, even if they just kind of faked it somehow.
And I realize I'm being pedantic about this, but look, what the hell are they eating? They're living in a desert wasteland. There is not a tree. There is nothing there. Are they eating the cockroaches? For that matter, what are the cockroaches eating besides Paul Winfield? It just give me some clue.
Well, all the bones were in there. They ate the rubber. They ate
everything.
They ate the bones.
You know, and also 2 years is not enough for mutated monsters to start showing up. Evolution doesn't work that way. I realize nobody cares. You know, the only science teachers would care about this.
Hey, come on! The Incredible Shrinking Man took less than 2 years. So.
Yeah, that's true.
And so did the what is it? The Growing Man? What is it? What was that one called? The Amazing Colossal Man?
Right, Colossal Man.
Back to Gene Jeffries, excuse me, real quick. He designed the Green Hornet car, the Black Beauty.
Yep.
He did the Monkey Mobile for the Monkeys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He did the futuristic hover cars for the 14 episodes of Logan's Run TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the Playboy 2000 vehicle in season 1, episode 6 of Paperboy 2000. Oh, I said Playboy. Paperboy.
I was wondering.
That's what they buried you in.
Yeah, sorry about that. And then he did the Moon Buggy from Diamonds Are Forever. So.
Oh yeah, Moon Buggy.
Among other things, I'm sure. But Black Beauty is a pretty decent looking car.
That's a great car.
It is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the Monkey Mobile is just silly, but that's what the monkeys were, so it's fine. He did, but he also did like the race cars in Death Race 2000. So, yeah. And he was a stunt man, and he was in Blues Brothers, so I imagine he was driving the cars that crashed.
Oh,
there's so many
did
cars.
He drive the one that crashed? I think there were like what, 50, 60 of them. I don't know why Detroit was having so much trouble back in those days, because I mean the Blues Brothers alone should have put them in the black.
No kidding. But there you go. That's all our pictures of and our discussion.
I tried to find some pictures of the bad special effects of the sky. So you want to talk about that, Doc?
Let's talk about the sky. Okay, so the sky, when they filmed it, the skies were blue.
Yeah,
they were just ready, and they weren't worried about it. That wasn't part of the thing. But again, knee-jerk reaction to Star Wars. They felt they needed to have, all the Aurora Borealis that looked creepy and scary, and spent more money and more time to get that in there, and woof, does not work.
Why was this a bad idea? All right, if you're filming something it should be fairly simple. If you got a blue sky and you film it, it's easy to key out blue. Even Now it'd be simple, but even then it was fairly, something you could do. And then you put in whatever damn sky you want. But you got to know that ahead of time. Otherwise, then you've got to do, and here's the word you never want to hear in special effects, rotoscoping, where you've got to like draw a mat around the people that are there and it looks bad. It calls attention to itself. The camera, of course, because they weren't planning on doing this, they're moving the camera around, which means you've got to make the sky move too after you put it in. Again, something that's easy to do now, something they couldn't do back then. And you can
They
tell.
didn't do it. Oh my gosh.
You can see the sky is going one way and the camera's going the other way. But all of that, terrible. Forgivable, though, if you did one more thing. The sky is like a bright salmon red with yellows and greens flashing through it. And the people on the ground look like they're just sitting in the sun. If the sky is red, there should be a red tinge over everything, and there isn't. It should have looked like the poster. That's what it all should have looked like. If you're going to commit to that terrible idea, commit to it. It just was so fakey looking. It's like when I see really amateur productions, we get a lot of short films and everything, and they're doing some film where a kid has a lightsaber and his lightsaber comes up and the lightsaber is red and the face is just like it was because they didn't even bother to get a red flashlight and shine it in his face when his lightsaber comes up. That one little thing would totally sell, or at least help to sell the illusion. And without it, you've revealed yourself. And look, boy, I'm watching this. I wasn't as into effects as I am now, but I was like, this is wretched. Yeah. This is so fake looking.
Apparently, they spent almost $2 million to do that.
Oh, well, they should have just burned it. They should have just put it in a pile and burned it and roasted marshmallows. It would have gotten more bang for their buck.
Right. Oh my gosh. But we do have to talk about the ending. You were talking about Albany would not have survived. Not only did it survive, but it flourished. It still had houses, people, and
gardens, parks.
Yeah, greenery everywhere.
The whole premise is that the Earth has been tilted on its axis, and then at some point it retilts and goes back to normal.
Okay, it fixed itself.
Yeah,
well, and they set that up early. That it's going to happen.
Okay, sure, but it's going to be a long time before things get back to normal. But no, everything looks. That's all it took.
Meanwhile, back in Albany,
they must have been under the dome, I guess. Okay, so we mentioned, it's totally silly, and it's also not part of the book. The book has a downer ending, and this, they wanted to have an uplifting ending, and it makes no damn sense whatsoever after the flood, right? The tidal wave footage, they did not shoot. That came from the movie Earthquake.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And they
it keeps getting worse and worse.
Oh, and there's some of the other. I don't have it in front of me, but the explosions were also from another movie.
The Minutemen missiles going up clearly did not look like they belonged in this movie. The grain was different. The colors, stock footage can really call attention to itself. They might as well have stuck the dinosaurs from 1 million years BC in there too while they were at it.
Yeah, we're no kidding. Everybody else would, right? That would have been interesting having them come over to.
Black and white, just a bunch of lizards with frills glued on them fighting.
Oh, the base explosion footage was from Operation Crossbow in 1965, which starred George Peppard.
He must have brought it with him in his briefcase.
Yeah. Must have been, his jock shorts. All right, well, let's end here because I think we've said everything we can about this movie.
Yeah.
It's hard to recommend this, but it's a curiosity piece, and it's fun if you're wanting to watch a train wreck.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to watch something that's entertaining and
or if you're a fan of 70s cheese.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Very true.
This is so much that.
Or if you just have a very expansive definition of the word fun.
Yes. That's true. Some people do. Yes. I mean, this is This is gold to some people's taste, but
I mean, if you
Woof,
look at
not-
Wikipedia, I'm almost sure they say something like it has now become a cult film. You
Yeah.
start thinking,
Yeah.
is there any film that doesn't become a cult film? I mean, that's almost the worst curse you could say, is that this film is so mid that nobody hates it enough or loves it enough to think about it. You know?
True.
Man. Yeah, I mean, it's almost thrown onto films that really don't deserve it anymore. You know, that don't deserve it nowadays. But there's always an audience, right? There's always an audience for something.
You could probably have a fun panel or podcast on just those poor films that the timing was off. You know, they just happened to be regular old 1970s science fiction movies, right when a movie came along that changed the definition of what a science fiction movie not only could be, but from this point on had to be.
Right.
And this one was already in production, and you're like, whoops, well.
Yeah. 70s had a lot of that kind of film. I mean, Exorcist changed horror movies altogether.
Right.
Star Wars science fiction films. Jaws changed what summer films were going to be.
Blockbusters,
Yeah. I mean, it's just and keep going on. It's just
like
crazy what the 70s
Saturday
did.
Night Live changed what comedy was, and then you see a few movies. You see some comedy movies that come out in that time, and it's like, this is more influenced by Carol Burnett than Saturday Night Live. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Carol Burnett show, but its style of comedy was about to go away.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think it's come back. Maybe what? Bob Newhart kind of held on to it for a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to feedback. And we want to encourage anybody out there that's watching this to give us some feedback. We'd love to hear what you think of Damnation Alley from 1977. Did you see it like when the rest of the crew, maybe not me, saw it? And, as a kid, it leaves a different impression, as Chad said. So did you guys have that as well? We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to give us suggestions of other 70s films we should cover, we also would love to hear that. Easy to reach out to us. You can do it here if you're watching YouTube, put it in the comments down below. If you're going to the website, we have comments, Gruesome Magazine being the website. We have comments there. You can also go to Facebook. We have a Facebook page that you can jump on, or even, various other things. I'm just going to shut up and move on. We have a couple of feedback. And we're going to start off Moon of the Wolf from episode 224. And Chad, would you read this feedback?
Okay, and this is from Dejanary Keel. I hope I'm saying that right. If I
it's close.
did not, let me know. Good film. It's enjoyable. And I'm not saying this as a huge John Davis Chandler fan, but then again, he made it so much more. And I guess there's an image.
That's a picture, yes.
Okay. John Davis Chandler, JDC, David Jansen, Royal Dano, and Moon of the Wolf.
Moon of the Wolf.
Or was it movie of the Wolf?
I was going to say movie of the week, but Moon of the Wolf works too, right?
Okay.
Because it's both, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, look at that face. Who does it? He reminds me of somebody now.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I can't.
Is it Jesse Simmons? Do you know who that is? Do I have the name right? Okay, never mind. We'll move on. Dave,
Edit mark here.
Open it up and you read. Did you? Yeah, you finished. From the Town That Dreaded Sundown, episode 259, Robert Baker.
Well, actually, this says the Town That Dreaded Sundwawn.
Well,
is that the same thing?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. I'm not sure if it's the same thing. I got a much easier name, Robert Baker. He writes in and says, I really like this movie. I often watch it along with Legend of Boggy Creek. I think we all do that, actually, as a double feature. It's one of those rare movies where the country people seem authentic. First time I saw this, I was surprised the killer remained free. I think I even saw this before Black Christmas. And I love the blooper during the train chase at the end where you can clearly see the cameraman without a shirt filming from the back of the train car as it passes by. So funny.
Oh my gosh. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Oh, I got to go back and look at it.
You
Oh,
have it on
my.
freeze frame. Don't give me that.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably. Yes. I mean, we could do a show on that. I mean, and even nowadays they still do it. If you guys remember the coffee cup in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That was a big
And
fan.
what was it? In Mando, there was the shirt guy, the guy in the t-shirt in the back corner.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
I always
too.
remember
In
Die
both
Hard
cases.
2, he's in New York, but the phone says Pacific Bell. I always remember that one too. Yeah.
And they in the two shows they took it out later, and
Ah.
you couldn't find it after a while. But it was too late. Memes were everywhere. All right.
Thank you, Robert. That was a great comment. Appreciate it.
Very much. Yeah. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, DJ. We're going to call you DJ. We'll help us out from there. But yes, we'd love to hear your comments. If you're listening to YouTube, right down below. And you can also, the other one I should have mentioned was feedback@gruesomemagazine.com. We do these episodes every 2 weeks, and coming up in the next episode is selected by Mill Billigan. Holy Jesus. Bill
Billigan.
Mulligan has chosen the next one from 1970. What slur did you choose?
Not to be confused with the professional wrestler Bull Milligan, who's a brawny fellow. I inflicted Andy Milligan on us, and now it's time for some Al Adamson. We have done one Al Adamson movie. We'll do this one, and that might be the end of it. I don't know. This is one of my favorite. It's definitely my favorite Al Adamson movie. Horror of the Blood Monsters. And why is it his best? Because largely he had the decency to take a different movie that he had nothing to do with, colorize it, sort of, and wrap a movie around it. It's got vampires, it's got lobstermen and Batmen and
John
Carradine. It's got some really famous cinematographers who are just like beginning to, cut their teeth working for almost no money at all. It's got Brother Theodore doing the opening narration. Yes. And he does an excellent job. It's a crazy pants movie. Absolutely nuts. I like it a lot. Is it good? Well, not really, but I like it.
All right. Well,
and you will too, maybe.
Absolutely.
We'll see. Chad's already looking like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, thank you, Mill.
Carry on, Mill.
Yeah, I screwed up Dave Dreyer over and over again, but you guys didn't catch it.
I'm just used to it.
Yeah. Dave's been around here longer than we have.
He knows the ropes.
All right. Well, that's it for tonight. Chad, Bill, and Dave, thank you for joining me. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Fun as always.
Enjoyed this one.
Yep. And that's it. Let's get out of here. Say good night.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.